So the first line of the part 2 says, the sun now rose upon the right. Okay, out of the sea came he, still hid in mist, and on the left went down into the sea. And the good south wind still blew behind. No sweet bird did follow, nor any day for food or play came to the mariner's hollow. Like you found no change in the universe, like sun stood still, how it was, and the wind still remained the same, like something which was helping the ship to flow. There wasn't any change, but the change was why? Change was there that there's no sweet bird did follow. There's no more the bird following which was earlier following. Okay, not any day for food or play. Even the bird wasn't following for food or playing because the bird died. No, bird was killed. How could he or she be now following? Okay, so and I had done a hilarious thing. Okay, this is the line which is the first line which proclaimed now the mariner is feeling what? Guilt. Okay, the mariner now has started feeling guilt. Okay, which he wasn't feeling earlier. Now it is the beginning of his feeling guilt. So how we understood is saying this, that I had done a hilarious thing, and it to the welcome for all effort I had killed the bird that made the breeze to blow, and rich said they the bird to slay that made the breeze to blow. So like so all the other people who were present in the ship, they are telling this mariner that you bought a very bad luck, you did a very bad thing by killing the bird. Why it is? Because that's the bird who bought the sweet wind or the beneficial wind which was helping them to flow. So they consider the bird to be the god sending and something which was helping them. So according to them, it's very bad thing done by the mariner by killing the bird, which will be reading from different perspective and point of view later on. Okay. Mm. Nor dim nor red like ghosts on it the glorious sun uprise. Then all averred I had killed the bird that brought the fog and mist. It was right, said they, such bird to slay, the bring the fog and mist. They said the fog and mist which we had seen in the paras earlier in part 1, that how the mist and fog was being brought along with that bird. With the bus coming, it only came out. So they are now these people are now blaming the mariner for killing it. It's very much important now to see that in this situation we are seeing up to now that other people who were present in the ship, they are blaming the mariner for killing the bird. Later on it was the hypocrisy of the same people. Okay, just listen. The fair breeze blew, the white foam flew, the furrow followed free. We were the first that ever burst into the silent sea. And still the air was or wind was helping them in going the right, and white foam flew. There wasn't any change in the weather, it was still benefiting them. Down dropped the breeze, the sails dropped down. It was sad as that could be, and we will speak only to break the silence of the sea. Mm-hmm. 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 So it said that down dropped the breeze, the sails dropped down. It was sad as sad could be. We did speak only to break the silence of the sea. Like down breeze, or the breeze mean air. Okay, air was still flowing. Sails is the synodic for ship. Okay, the ship was going smoothly. Synodically is a figure of speech where we use part for a whole. Okay. So the sails dropped down. It was said as such could be. We did speak only to break the silence of the sea. So there's little bit of change we are seeing. I'll explain it. Okay. All in a hot copper sky, the bloody sun at noon, right up above the mast, distant nor bigger than the moon. Day after day, with dark nor breath nor motion, as idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean. Okay, so there you saw in the first para that there's no change. In first two paras that you saw there's no change in the weather, although the bird died, which was taken as a universal part of nature or part of this spiritual peace. Okay, so that bird died, still no change in the weather. Change was that the bird was no more following them, neither for food nor for any other reason. And this is what first two para. Third para, you saw that the mariner was feeling now guilt, and along with other people present in the ship was blaming the mariner that how could you kill a bird who brought a good fortune for us, who brought the nice wind for us, which was helping them in flowing the ship. Okay, this is what we saw in the third fourth para. We saw that they realized, okay, this is what I said, that in fourth para there's change. I didn't mention fourth para is like they saw that although the bird died, still there's no change in the ambience. Okay, like weather is flowing smoothly, even the mist have started as smoothly going away, and weather become more fresh. Okay, so they thought that maybe the bird was bad luck, and they were misunderstanding it, and they started praising the mariner. Now that you did good thing by killing the bird. Okay, so this is what they they did. Okay, here what did you understand? Here you understood this collective consciousness. Like this is what two things you should be knowing. One is collective consciousness, one another is collective unconsciousness. Collective unconsciousness is a totally psychological term, and the consciousness is something collective one. It's not totally filled with this psychological term, but it's the term which is related to how human being functions. Okay, how when you live in a crowd, how does it function? That this crowd does favor you one point when it's helping them, and other time they would go against of you when they see that a single fault within you. This is where it is incident can be proven that they were blaming at one point the mariner, another point they were saying that you did a good thing. That's the thing you can interpret it in from psychological point of view too. And this is human tendency to see its own favor, its own self in anything before choosing the incident is correct or not. Okay, like their own self they would be seeing before judging it. Okay, so then this is how many paras we talked about. This about the fourth para, we say the change of the crowd. Okay. Now in the fifth para there's a change now in the uh, weather. Okay, weather now started to be adverse in nature, like something which was no more helpful to them but started creating disaster. Okay, like we were the first down drop the breeze, sails dropped down. It was sad as sea could be. So we did speak only to break the silence of the sea. All in a hot copper sky, the bloody sun at noon right up above the mast, distant no bigger than the moon. Day after day we stuck like the ship was now wrecked. Okay, the ship was now wrecked. Men like ship was somewhere taken by the wind where it got stranded. It couldn't move. Okay, So like all in a hot copper sky, the sky was scorching heat due to the sun as an, and it was not the weather they were feeling earlier. Okay, the bloody sun at noon, right up above the mustard stand, no bigger than the moon. Day after day, with stark nor with motion, day after day they stood where the wind took them. Okay, they couldn't move further, as idle as a painted ship, as a painted ocean. Like they were standing in the way, as though they were not a real ship, nor real human being, not the that was real sea, as though that it was a kind of a picture. Because in picture what you have painted, it can move. So they were feeling that we have been painted, that's why we can move, we are static. Okay, the very deep did not, oh Christ, that ever they should be. Slimy things did call with legs upon the slimy sea. Okay, they now cried out to Christ. Here you can take reference. In poem you can take references. You do understand this? If you don't, you write it in the comment section. I'll make you understand later. So in if we give focus on this particular line where they are calling, oh Christ, and it's a scenario of shipwreck. So there we can take reference, we can do text intertextual kind of explanation here through the lines spoken in Hopkins, another British author who wrote somewhere after Coleridge, okay, much more later. So Hopkins' poem, which is also having mm, a theme of shipwreck and calling the Christ for help. Okay, so this we would be doing. Okay, the poem of the Hopkins' name is Wreck of the Deutschland. Okay, this is where the nuns were present who were calling the Christ to help them, and ultimately they got saved. Okay, so we can do explain this line by the use of that poem. Okay, that ever this should they are calling God, how can it happen? Okay, they are saying we can't believe that that happened to us, and they're in a question that did it really happen, and how could it be? So yeah, slimy thing did crawl with legs, it I would be explaining this line. Okay, so slimy things did crawl with legs upon the slimy sea, about real and round the death fires danced at night, the vessel like a witch was burnt green blue white. Like they are in a situation, okay, day after day, night after night, they are going in a place where they can't eat, they can't move. In a situation like that, they are feeling that nothing is tomorrow, tomorrow is death. Okay, if they would see anything in future, is their own death, nothing else. Okay, and some in dreams assured were of the spirit that plagued us. So 9 fathom deep he had followed us from the land of mist and snow. He said that who had assured us, who had plagued us, they are seeing now this albatross, because it's the albatross who brought us the reason of happiness. Mist and snow helped our ship, and by the death of it is the plague we are now suffering from. Every tongue, though uttered wrote, was either at the root. We could not speak no more than if we had been choked with salt. Okay, in such situation, they couldn't even speak. They were feeling like they have been choked up. This is what happens if something so much disastrous happen to you, become that much. Voiceless. Okay, this is what that you can't explain it. Okay, we could not speak, not then no more than if we had been choked with salt. So there's comparison being made. Okay, you understood that no more than if we had been choked with salt. Okay, so you got in this word, you got in this poem, Lamb's poem, Chimney Sweeper. Okay, the chimney sweeper boy said that how his hairs became white due to this, you read in that section. Okay, so old lady, what evil looks had I from old young, instead of the cross the albatross about my neck was hung. So it's now that guilt has become more prominent, that we were that at the root and we could not speak nor then if we had been choked with sword all day, but the evil looks had I from old and young instead of the cross. So this line has become now a phrase that albatross about my neck was hang. It means wide range of guilt. Okay, wide range of guilt. It means and burden. Okay, so this way this part second part whole about the guilt which Mariner was feeling, along with that collective consciousness of human being, where they were at one point cursing that Mariner, that why did you kill? Second point, they were praising the Mariner that you did good thing, but ultimately weather changed. They got flowed by that water and they came in a place where they did not know how to save themselves. They cried out to the Christ for help, and at that point the mariner understood the reason of everything that went on, and this phrase which became later on popular, the albatross about my neck was hanged. So what we as a student can learn from this para, we as a student can learn from this para that if something is helping us, if we do not even can give it something back, okay, which you may not be, okay, it's not mattering. If you can't help anybody who is helping you, that's even okay, but do not harm. Listen, this is the thing in this poem, this stanza is saying, if something comes to you, it means it's a blessing, it's helping you. If you can't help it back, do not harm it. Listen, then the curse will fall on you, because this is does. If you do not want to read it from spiritual interpretation, even from ecological interpretation, read it from the karma interpretation. Karma says what you do, it would come back to you. Newton's third law to speak the same thing. If you harm anybody, you'll just receive the harm. If you do not harm anybody, if you help others, the universe will help you. Listen, so this is what the part speak about. I hope you understood, and those who are new to Lit News Pro, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon. Subscription is must. Why? Because without subscription you do